I'm a flat earther.
Fair play. Well, let's see where the plane's going to be flying over instead. As it is a flat map, and it's going to be very different to what we saw earlier. Obviously, in the first game of the day, it was towards the southern side, and that really affected the drops for teams like Wildcard and a few other teams like Omen Elite who couldn't go towards Milta towards the eastern side or Severny towards the northern side. But this time, directly diagonal through the, northwestern side down towards the southeastern side there towards Novo. So very balanced.
Yeah, and this is perfect for squads like B4 who like to drop Novo. This is perfect for Omen Elite, who go Milta Power, like you mentioned, Severny, even Cloud9. I mean, South George, Loops go to Hospital. So a lot of teams are really, really digging this this plane path because it favors them.
Queso
go to Primorsk.
Yeah,
I mean, they can still, pull that shoot pretty early on and maybe get there. But realistically, you want to drop hot, get a vehicle, and then drive there. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it seems like Team Queso instead of just dropping out towards Mansion right now. We see Team Solid and Alpha 7 going the same general direction just south of Yasnaya. So we might see some hot drops happening early towards that part of the map and towards the southwestern side, towards Quarry, Ferry Pier, Primorsk, as we mentioned, it's completely empty. So the southern area of Gatkar as well, those empty fields are going to be frivolous for now, as that zone may rotate towards the western side. But Team Solid and Team K. So this is the issue for these teams. A few of the teams that wanted to drop towards the western side couldn't. At Axel here up against Team Solid as, oh my god, he's actually got the drop on it, but no, Mafioso has gone for the bit of a whiff there. It must be windy inside Mansion as he's missed his shots, but Axel's landed his.
Yep, Axel right there. I believe getting the final blow with that M4. Didn't see what Mafioso had in their hand, but we were talking about this last game. Like, if you're going to drop by yourself, you're always going to be exposed to these 1v1s very early on with no armor, and if you have armor, maybe level 1, so you gotta hit those. And Axel hitting those right there.
Very good point to mention. But yeah, that does mean that Team Queso are going to be going for a split loot setup, as we see a few players dropping just north of Prison, and then we saw as well from Axel there in the center of Mansion, and winning that duel versus Team Solid as well, who are now really centered towards Shelter, so they've actually opted to get away from Team Queso now as they lost their player earlier. And now down to 3, they're going to be settling towards Shelter. So Team Queso now, they can loot up. They've got an extra kill point as well, so they're going to have some confidence going forward. And as well, Davis, not at that, phase 2, phase 3 circle where they'd already looted and then wasted utility. Instead, he killed him immediately. He can pick up 1 first aid, be full HP, and then it's almost like he's fully reset.
You're good to go. You're good to go. And Team Queso, looking at their history on Erangel, 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place. So they really love this map and they perform quite well on this map. And, just being able to comfortably showcase your gun skills this early on while being split up just goes to show you how strong of a squad Team Queso are.
Oh, we're seeing Kultur actually towards Sharky at the northwestern side. Usually they're towards Georgia Pool, but instead we've got Lazarus there, and obviously C9 are always towards South Georgia Pool, and Loops there towards the Everest Mountain. We know that they like to play the high-end positions, as Pittsburgh Knights are just south of them, as well as they have gone towards Goroka. So some of the parts here towards the western side of the map are starting to be opened up for these teams as the time does go on the clock.
Yeah, and honestly, circle number 1, it's got, 75% of it will be on the mainland. Just, a tip of it down there in the military base island. So it can go either way still. It can go either way still, in my opinion. I mean, yesterday's games, or the day before's games, ended near, Milta in the forest over there. Remember, we had 2 compounds with about 5 to 6 different teams all fighting it out.
Queso and Loops, I believe.
Colt 2 actually getting the chicken dinner that game. So huge upcoming for Colt 2. And Colt 2, you said it, they're all the way out there in Zarki. They're going to be coming up on the tail end of probably circle 1 or 2. They're going to be taking their sweet time out there looting on up.
Yeah, and there's a plethora of ways they can rotate inside the circle as well, because you mentioned the time of phase 1. So they're going to be fine for now, although they may run into Wildcard, Lazarus, or C9 on that rotation. Although with how much open area there is towards the western side of the circle, a lot of these teams are going to be finding their own space and being comfortable inside it. Tempo, 2 chicken dinners today, and they're going to be going for that 3rd as well, as we've only really seen B4 manage to get 3 like that in such convincing fashion. And B4, as you said, always towards Novo. They have to cross that eastern bridge off of Military Island, and Tremcaretta, they're going to be on the island as well. They're going to have to make their rotation eventually. Omen, Elite, we know they like to go towards Milta, and then they will always check out that eastern bridge to see if a team's rotating, although it seems like timing for these teams is all worked out fine as no one's crossed paths just yet.
I mean, maybe B4 will have to cross it. Maybe we'll go down south. You never know. And very smart moves. Oh, we'll get back to that because Raven by themselves right here. Oh, with the support.
Yeah, he's just going to be on his own here. There is a few players here from Grunto, but Oran's going to be taken out with ease by the side of Pittsburgh Knight. That's Carnage who gets that kill as well, as OQ has to just hide and cower behind this metallic fence, as we see Lazarus as well there in a bit of a kerfuffle with Wildcard Gaming. Can't quite see who's winning that one though, is quite small, but we are going to be focusing on Grunto here in the meantime, as Lazarus are going to be eliminated by Wildcard Gaming, so that's going to tell us all we needed to about that narrative, as for now, in the present, it's all about Pittsburgh Knight trying to go for that second kill here and really deny any chances for Grunto to try and get that second chicken dinner here today, and yeah, that's going to be the second player taken out there for Grunto, so they're going to be left with just Sixless and Sana left.
Yeah, unlucky. Q actually tossing about 3 different grenades right there. Unfortunate, not able to connect on to any of them. J7 will be taking some shots on to Senna. I don't know if Senna's going to be coming on over here. Looks like Senna was attempting to come for the support, but Q is already going to be knocked down and out. Just going to be leaving Grunto with 2 on up. Grunto, last 2 games, really good performance. Not sure why they decided to split on. Oh, Emraz was doing some.
He's like, not again.
He's like, no.
This can't happen again.
3 vehicles parked here.
He's got through his teammates who are behind him, but they're about, what, 30, 40 meters away, and he spotted out one of the players. That's King A, who's going to be throwing out a grenade just to try and see if he can force Emraz back slightly and say, no, this is my hill. This is my part of the map. We're inside the center of the circle, just eastern of Pachinki, and this is a great spot to be, so you can see why there's a multitude of teams who are trying to get this position. It's Potato Hill at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's just so funny. I mean, Emraz just slowly going up there, but then, no, reverse, so quick right there. So I won't be surprised if we see both these squads kind of, take little pot shots back and forth, maybe even try to pop some tires and limit that utility moving on forward here. So yeah, we were talking about Grunto. So they have 2 up still. The main objective, just placement points. You really can't take those engagements like you did in the last 2 games, and Sixless is good at using that snaking strategy to do just that. And they are going to be right smack in the middle, so we'll have to pay attention to the kill feed. Looks like Beowulf out here with the snipes, looking to get a knock or 2 onto Loops.
Yeah, doesn't want to make that same mistake he made on Vikendi when he was one of the first players to die over-rotating in that vehicle, although Cloud9 now, with the way the circle has formed, have actually got a much better position in terms of rotations. They got quite unlucky with how many teams were in their path with their rotation on Vikendi, but here, they are just outside of Pachinki, and so are Loops, and so are Pittsburgh Knights as well. There's 3 teams here towards this massive hill just south of Pachinki, and which team will be crowned the victor of it? As Loops, they want some action already.
Yeah, Loops, Dadin making the push right now, tossing some grenades. We see Uneven on that retreat, heading on back to their squad on the other side of the hill to avoid the sightlines of Loops. So, actually talking to Beowulf this morning, today, this afternoon, wherever you are, Beowulf said that he's fairly happy with Cloud9's performance here so far in the PMPL. The only thing Beowulf mentioned that's kind of hindering them here so far on the overall leaderboards, because they are in like 11th place, are the zones, especially when it comes to Sandhawk. Every single Sandhawk map has pretty much favored Quarry except for the one here today. So Beowulf kind of just hoping that these zones can favor them a little more. And Beo knows for a fact, like if they get some zones, if they get some luck, they can 100% at the end of the day be a top 8 squad easily. So hey, that's something that you like to see, like to hear from the IGLs of your squad.
Yeah, it's true. Sana there from Grunto looking like a mountain goat. I was wondering how he was going to get down from there, but it seems like he's going to be able to rejoin with his teammate Sixtus here on the edge of the map. But they are going to be exposed to military base, but actually Tremcaretta and B4 have made their rotations off of military base. So Grunto will be fine for now, but obviously they're really trying to hold on to strings here as they are just down to 2. But yeah, Cloud9 in 11th, as you said, and it's a wrangle where they really have to start stepping things up. So this should be a map for them to try and get some points, both kill points and placement points, as they are in a good position inside the circle. But obviously, it's a hot position because of how important it is. And now that Mazexis are here, there's 4 teams all on this hill. So the center of the map looking very clustered. We don't really see too many teams playing towards the edge besides Wildcard and really, well, Trim Caretta, but even then they're rotating in.
Yeah, honestly, if you are Mazexis, you're taking some shots right now. You're giving away information for free because Tribe to the west of them is Pachinki, right? But the big, wide Pachinki field. So not a lot of teams are going to rotate across those fields. So Tribe kind of had the advantage when it comes to their position on Potato Hill compared to Mezix on the east side. It's so easy to pull up to the hill. And you got B4 over there. You got Alpha 7. You got Team Queso. So honestly, if you are Mazexis, giving away this key information on your position could spell disaster. So I would hope that they are going to be expecting a pull-up here shortly, as we are going to be checking in with Cloud9, taking some shots, trying to overthrow Tempo Storm right now.
Yeah, I actually like this play from C9. They've opted to go off the hill, try and get a bit more inside Pachinki if possible, but obviously Tempo Storm are likely to be there. Maybe Cloud9 are expecting Tempo to have left Pachinki, but I mean, with how central it is and with how difficult it is to get out of Pachinki, Dave, there's no real reason to risk leaving Pachinki when it's in such a good position inside the circle. So Tempo are still there, and you know, you spoke at length about Mazexis as they're going to be waiting to see where the zone does eventually go to next, because if it does go towards this western side, we've currently got the majority of teams towards the eastern side of Pachinki, the eastern side of this Potato Hill, which does mean there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 teams to have to rotate from east to west if the zone does favor that way.
Exactly. And honestly, when it comes to the Pachinki, I really like Tempo out there on the east side because, you got the fields to the east, so if someone does make that push into Pachinki and vehicles, you can easily just spray them down and get that vehicle explosion. Pachinki providing so much cover right now in this zone. We still got Sixless all the way down there to the south trying to survive. All these teams just kind of biding their time, waiting to see where this next zone would go. And it's going to pop here in just a moment. Where's it going to go? I'm thinking Pachinki. I'm thinking it.
Let's see then, as it is about to pop for our screens. If it does favor Pachinki, there's 3 teams who are currently inside or just outside of it.
Wow.
Oh, Dave, you were right. And I said, though, if it went towards the western side, which it has, now we've got 1, 2, 3, 6 teams that have to make a rotation towards Pachinki here. Oh, dear. This is what happened, though. Yeah, I said, if it goes to western side, we're going to get a bloodbath. That's what we want, though, as the entertainment.
That's what the viewers
As Kalara said, bad circles. 7 said as well, bad circles is great for the viewers.
Great for great for us as well. Horrible for the players. Now, Wildcard, though, they are going to be making the pull-up from Runes. Should be fairly decent. They are going to be opting to play that edge here this game. Very smart move, because right now, a lot of teams are going to be looking at crashing on into Pachinki and taking up residence within the city and getting that hard cover. But honestly, if history has taught me anything, do not send it into the town, because these final zones like to favor the outskirts of the town more than the actual town itself. So we'll have to see. If Mustache Dave is correct with their circle guesses, as Tribe right now all in their separate vehicles looking for a spot to call home.
Oh, Tempo are just killing players now from Alpha 7. Yeah, you can see the vehicle as well, where they tried to crash onto Pachinki, but Tempo, the king of it, taking down 2 of the players from Alpha 7, and now they convert those kills. Rain going to be finishing off a few of those. But actually, Matek, he's going to be kill stolen by Pittsburgh Knight, who are out there to the eastern ridge there on the top of that hill. So that's an extra kill point there for Pittsburgh Knights, and they're going to be loving that down in 10th place or around the mid of the pack of the leaderboard. And Pittsburgh Knights, Dave, they're one of the teams that we're expecting to finish top 8 going into World League. So important for them, as Team Queso now have to try and get inside that Harry Potter tower.
Yeah, and you saw in the kill feed right there, Carnage with that DP just spraying, connecting onto one of the members, but they are safe and sound within that first store of the Wizard Tower. They're going to be getting peppered from multiple angles, though. If you are HH right now, if you are Carnage from the Knights, you're probably going to be popping these towers and making sure that if the zone does not favor this guard tower, Team Queso, they're going to have to use all their smokes to make it on out of here alive. Checking on in, nice little aerial view. Omen Elite still 4 up. Seems like they got B4 right on the outskirts. Possibly taking some shots at them right now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's only Omen Elite around B4. Besides that, the next team is actually Team Queso, who are inside that Wizard Tower, as you said. So if B4 can try and quell Omen Elite here, they will be in a very good position going forward in terms of having lots of space around them and open terrain around them as well, just in case teams were to crash on them. I mean, you can see it as well from HH24, how easy it is for him to spray down those vehicles who are rotating into Pachinki, because as you said, if you play towards the outskirts, you know, you have compound cover, but all the teams inside the open fields who are coming towards you, well, they don't.
Exactly. Tribe still going to be up there on Potato Hill. I believe that's what Mick was checking out up there. Next zone, Pachinki, Tempo.
Wow.
They are just loving this right now. Oh my goodness. Looks like the Knights have a decent position. Loops are going to be sitting really good right now. Cloud9 making that wide rotate over there on the west-hand side. Might get a crate if they spot it out, but really, B4, Tribe, Omen Elite out there on the east. They need to make the push on in here. And the east side of the circle right now, jam-packed right now.
It's true. I mean, C9, if they keep rotating southern, they're going to be passing loops and they could be in a position where they could set up shop and let the other teams just annihilate each other. As you said before, have to make the rotation as they're now going to be opting to go inside their vehicles, but they're rotating past Tribe. Tribe, they have seen it, but they're going to be allowing them to pass. I think for both these teams, they need the rotation, so they're not going to be getting inside the firefights. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Alucard hops out the vehicle, King A as well as in the open, so they can try and rattle off the shots here onto Levi as he does cross, but they're not opting to do it.
Yeah, and honestly, personal opinion here, I know it's a little bit riskier, but I feel like you can defend yourself a little better, is if Tribe or B4, maybe they would have sent it 2-2 per vehicle, because at least with that, you can have one person hanging on the side, you know, just spraying down, attempting to get the knock. At least with that, you can kind of defend yourself on the push compared to just being in a vehicle solo right now and getting sprayed down. Pedro pulling on up, going for some grenades onto Wildcard.
Yeah, slightly too far to the right side, but either way, now Wildcard Gaming and the B4 have managed to rotate inside the, well, Abbey or Cathedral here of Pachinki, as that nade does some damage onto Pedro. Can just whip out the energy drink though and heal himself back up to full eventually, as Team Queso are being down by Tempo, still inside Pachinki, as even this is so close towards Pachinki with the center of the circle, actually southern of Pachinki inside the mainland road. So we could be seeing a very, very open ending to the circle, which would be great for us to see, as it's really a 1 versus 1 here between Pedro and Acer. From the side of Wildcard Gaming, as he is alone here, as the rest of his team are inside the blue zone, but they are rotating quickly.
Acer, the top fragger in the lobby. The top fragger, and that is why Acer hits those.
Oh, that was so slick. The finesse there. Headshot in the vehicle, whips out the M4, headshot again when he's down, and that's an extra kill here for Wildcard Gaming. That's one of the reasons they're at the top. Their gun skill is paramount.
And we saw Enigma actually going to be already thirsted, sent back. Enigma making a tweet on earlier, burning their toast, you know, getting a rough start here to the games. That might have been why. Maybe next time, make sure not to burn your toast to a crisp there, Enigma. But best of luck for the next days. Checking on over here, Pachinki still going to be in this circle. Owen Elite just a little south of Tempo. B4 now making the pull up from that church position. Call 2 right in front of them. But Tribe versus Omen, it is erupting.
It is indeed, and these teams are on the center road as well of this circle. Look at Tas. He's going to be okay for now, but King A was killed in the action, as he's going to be having to watch his teammate Seagut be revived by his teammate Sam, as Wildcard are still very split up here inside this circle. We will be seeing the next circle very shortly. Is he going to go north towards Pachinki? Tempo would love that. Let's find out, Dave.
Loop still on that high ground. Loop still on that high ground. And we mentioned it last game. They were on top of the high ground. They got taken out really early on, like 9th place, but their damage numbers were insane. They were just popping off, and that high ground position allows you to get sightlines on all these teams. I mean, Loops, they're going to be able to third-party Mezics. They're going to be able to third-party Omen, Tribe. You still got Alpha 7 behind them on the road as well. So these squads, they need to hunker down. They need to turtle on up and make sure not to, you know, expose themselves for free and get knocked and lose those helmets.
It's true. I mean, and Loops as well. They're inside the circle. You know, inside this southwestern side of the hill. I mean, if the next circle doesn't favor them, they're eventually going to have to leave their commanding position. But either way, they can just let these teams kill each other inside phase 5. And maybe it's 10 teams, 9 teams left when eventually they have to rotate. But either way, it's going to be much safer for them, as Tribe are still locked in this 4 versus 3 with the side of Omen Elite, but if they move, you've got Pittsburgh Knights on the hill, and then you've got Team Queso on the other side, as well as Kultur. Finally starting to make some noise here on Erangel as Levi going to be dropped inside the center of the road here of Pachinki, and it seems like he may be perished as well. Team Solid going to be going out in 15th as Fran. Eventually we'll get that kill because Mixera, he's had to leave his teammate.
Yeah, and Tempo, the first squad to make their way on out of Pachinki.
Oh.
Sending it to this shack over here, but Grunto, remember, Grunto, only a duo. They were already in the shack.
Yeah, they were just waiting in Tempo. I don't think they're expecting this, Dave. I'm not sure how many players died from Tempo. Eventually, we're going to be finding out shortly because it's going to be, 2 of the players were dropped. So now we're in a 2 versus 4 up against Mazexis for Tempo if you're a fan of Tempo Storm. As one of the players does go down, Mazexis. Mitz is going to be dropped as Alpha 7 go out in 14th, but Tempo are still locked into a 2 versus 4. But that nade is going to be... Whoa, it drops another player as well. Now it's a 2 versus 2. HH24 making it happen here for his squad as Rain. Trying to see if he can catch his players going for the revive as he's up close here. So far, just pushing forward, trying to land the sprays. He's going to be connecting it eventually. And now it's all down to Emraz from a 4 versus 2. Now his team is in a 1 versus 2. And Tempo, well, HH24 Rain, they want to finish what they start. And here it comes. But no, Emraz finishes the first one. Can't get the second though. Tempo, they keep it going.
I mean, Rain and HH popping in through opposite doors, getting that crossfire going on, really catching Mezix off guard right there, and just, cleaning out that first story and then leaving a solo, like you mentioned, at the top. So using their numbers to their advantage, playing it smart, getting a nice knock with those grenades out there to kind of start the engagement. Spring, the solo member right now. 4 wildcards spotted by Loops, making too much noise. See you later. 10th place for wildcard here. Next zone does go on up. Team Caretta, Loops, the Knights down there in the south.
Another circle for Loops where they can just shift, 20 meters, and they're inside the circle, and again, they can gatekeep it up against all these teams with their elevated angle. Oh, Team Queso. They're going to be down to Ayala right now as Omen Elite are trying to get some more kills. Oh, we've got 1, 2, 3 teams here, all fighting just south of Pachinki right now on top of the hill. It's going to be C9. They have 4 players up. Loops as well with 4 players up. They've been playing so well so far as Trem Caretta are up the bottom of the hill as well, so they may be trying to third party the action, depending on which team does actually win here. Ooh, in this fight between these 2 squads is Beowulf trying to see if he can lead the action here, get some information to his team while uneven. It's going to be revived.
Becker's off angle could play spoiler if Cloud9 trying to make that push. But one thing I noticed, Pyra has that corn suit on. When Pyra has that corn suit on, they win those. They win those, Alex, as Pyra is going to be bleeding on out. Hopefully they can get revived. No! Pyra thirsted. 2 versus 4 right now. Loops on the defend right now.
Loops are doing so well. That grenade taking out 2 of the players from C9, and now it's down to Beowulf and Ada. Oh dear, here for Beowulf and his teammate. They have to fall back slightly, but again, they're going to be caught between maybe another team. No, it's more damage here being dealt by Loops. It's Becker, and his M4 is going to be beckoning Scar, excuse me, but it's going to be leaving more than a scar for Beowulf as his team are going to be knocked out in 8th. But no, manages to get 1 knock. He's still up for now as there's more damage, but no kills going to be converted. D9 out in 8th. And now we're down to 7 teams with 18 players left. This is close.
Unfortunate for Cloud9 pushing uphill right on top of Loops. What is going on over here? Vehicles are exploding. Looks like Cult2 are building their own little car fort, making sure they got all the angles nice and covered. They got the shack as well. Tempo actually going to be pushing on into the west, possibly running on into Loops. Loops still on that hill. That hill is pretty much their 5th squad mate right now, in my opinion. It is actually crazy. The Knights with 12 kills so far this game as well. Knights are popping off.
Yeah, Kultur started to pop up as well as Rain from Tempo. It's going to be dropped. Remember as well, HH24 is the only remaining player alive for Tempo, unless Rain can be revived. As Trem Caretta, they have 4 players alive. Loops have 4 players alive. Kultur have 3, so it's really Trem Caretta and Loops here who are the titans of this 5th game and the favourites to try and get that chicken dinner here on Erangel as Loops with the high ground. As always, they've kept, their rotations, the whole tournament have been stellar. And now you're starting to see there's a discrepancy in rotations between Loops and the other 15 teams inside the lobby as now they're starting to force their hand out. They're coming down the hill as Dardin inside the vehicle. Oh, Dave, what is he going to find when he comes over the hill? No, actually, going to opt to go behind the vehicle, but I believe, yeah, it's Tempo. Rain has been revived, Tempo is still here, and now they want a piece of the Loops action.
Tempo with only 2 still. 10 kills so far. They have this hill for cover. They do not get blessed by the next zone. They're going to have to pop on over the hill. Looks like Becker will be spotting HH, but HH with the connect onto Becker.
Yeah, that is a perfect shot there from him, and still, if it's not C9, it's
Another
Trem Carretta who are going to be finishing off the job here for the side of Loops. As more players drop, that's Loops out. And now we're down to Tempo Storm with 2, Pittsburgh Knights with 2, and Trem Carretta down to 3 as the zone is going to be favoring Pittsburgh Knights inside the center of it, but then again, they're going to be quarantined by one team towards the northeastern side, that's Tempo, and then towards the west, there's 3 players here from Trem Carretta, and they know exactly where they are. That nade too, bringing J7 down to, well, 1 shot from anything would take him down right now. A pincher, a gust of wind, or maybe another HE going to be taking out his teammate right next to him as Raven trying to crawl away for his life, but no. Rain is going to be digging the grave for him. As with 6 players left, and with Swagman as well catching out HH24 on the open, it seems like we might be finishing here with Pittsburgh Knights here, unless Tempo Storm can try and fight back Trem Carretta, who still have 3 players alive, and they're the ones leading the charge. This is J7, last alive for Pittsburgh Knights, and he might just watch Tempo die in front of him, and love that. Try and get that 2nd place position if he can try and stay quiet. But Swagwin, all he has to do is look towards the right side, and he'll see J7 just camping there in the open.
Exactly. I mean, HH pretty much taken a 1v3 for a good amount of time, and now finally Rain coming up with that support. J7 hoping that nobody looks in their direction, is not going to be making a move right now. So J7 might be able to, play a factor in the downfall of Team Carretta. He might pop up at the end when Tempo start to make the push and take the engagement. It's coming down to it. It's coming down to it, Alex.
But at what point does J7 get caught? I mean, how has he not been seen yet? This slight divot in the hill here is just protecting him from death time and time again. And Tempo now going to be in the firefight. Ooh. Now it's Trem Carretta, but HH24 spots out 1. Let's see, he jumps out. It's going to be Vitu with low HP, but no. He's going to be dropped. And now it's just 1 team left as Trem Carretta up against Pittsburgh Knight, but it's only 1 player.